The Immortal Mask, a 1970s superhero crime noir adventure, follows a retired soldier turned reporter who is given a coveted interview with a death row inmate. What he learns thrusts him into Atlanta's shadowy underworld. He'll have to use his military training to survive being hunted for possessing the information that could topple the city's most powerful ruling class. This is not a pre-order or a crowdfunding campaign. Get your books now at denali's.com.
I wish I could find a way to better advertise Apothic Press.
Just back it already.
Whoa, Crom, what are you doing here? What's this? The Madness Roku Network. Sponsorship. 1 month of playing your 30-second ad on the network 3 times a day? Oh my gosh, for $20? And you can't beat that.
Just back it already.
All right, Crom, I'm doing it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Tanner Hurley, founder of Apothic Press. I back the Madness Roku Network, and so should you.
Man history, man of magic. He's a mother-loving son of a fate most tragic. His black mystic arts kung fu is undeniable. His mojo with the ladies is simply indescribable. Can you dig it? He's half vampire, bloodsuckers can't stop him. Half werewolf, half zombie, no way you're gonna top him. High kicking, ass kicking, master of his trade. He's half movie star, you don't need no shaft to blade. Oh yeah.
1791. A celestial anomaly appeared in the heavens above. The Elysium megastructure, vast and enigmatic, loomed in the orbit of the moon, defying explanation. From whence it came, none could say. Some believed it always had been there, hidden among the stars, biding its time to re-emerge. In 1822, a visionary named Ghulam Ali embarked on a daring mission to unlock the secrets of the Elysium object. But his quest ended in tragedy, with rockets lost to the fickle tendrils of fate. Ghulam Ali, once revered, became a reclusive figure on the Babylon Project, his private platform in the middle of the Atlantic, where it lived in solitude for 50 years. Until the world had need of him again. Unannounced, a powerful figure of influence knocks on the palace's gates to deliver her demands, whatever those might be. Unravel the mysteries of the Elysium megastructure, discover the secrets of archaeology, a city like no other, where refugees from lost worlds forge new identities. Join us on a journey to Elysium, where science fiction, steampunk, and fantasy collide in a tale inspired by Jules Verne, Moebius, and Robert E. Howard. Prepare to embark on an epic adventure like no other. Support Journey to Elysium on Kickstarter and become part of the Association of Ishtar Multiverse.
25 seconds to curtain, folks.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bonsart Bokel to the show.
Thank you.
Bonsart, good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah.
You're becoming a regular here because you keep creating new things. We go from one project to the next, and I've got to get I guess your overarching Association of Ishtar logo, so we can add it to that ad that we played at the beginning here. Because
Oh, yeah. I can send you some. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So this looks like a different kind of project from what I've seen in the past, because the last two projects I've seen have been for books, and you had comics, and you have little miniature figures, but they're sort of ancillary to the main story, which is the core. This is a comic book.
Yes. Yes, it's the first issue in a comic book series, and the main goal of the Kickstarter is to fund the next issue primarily, and everything else, But we're also working on other projects as well. A matter of fact, I'm releasing something special during the Kickstarter as well. It's kind of like a pre-release. I have to make a proper campaign for that at some point. So there's going to be some surprise things being auctioned as well. So,
Oh, very nice, very nice. So, was a comic book always part of the plan, or did you sort of shift gears and
well, the comic thing, the reason why I made the first comic, S46 the Call Girl, which was inspired by one of the first stories I ever wrote for the series. That was due to a creator called SK. He's also an award-winning comic book artist who also does steampunk stuff. Yeah, so you should make a comic book, and said, okay, well, let's do it. And that's became S46, and it was like, okay, we want to do something better because Johan Alexander, who drew who drew the comic, he also has drawn Bound for the Sticks, which was my next Kickstarter. And he does a lot of art for the series right now. He also did the concept art for the figurines. This is also his design. And so kind of like, okay, want to do something bigger, something to really start creating the world, and that medium is comics. And hopefully that will in the future inspire something else. We'll see. But a lot of people are really attached to arcology as a concept, and the city itself and the characters who live there. And it's a very complicated world. It's not your generic fantasy in space situation. And that takes a lot of visualization. That makes it also a lot of fun to work with. So there's a long history to that. And the original story was one of my first attempts to explore that world of arcology. So it's a short story series that I never really finished, which is probably a good thing too, because I made a lot of changes to that. And the main character, Maurice Havelaar, is also a new character. So yeah, there's a lot of pre-development. Then it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna make the comic about? And I already had like the start of these short stories. And I can make that kind of something self-contained, but also explain a lot about the world itself, including the main character of the first book, which is a character by Ghulam Ali. And the video, next video, is about him and how he became like this kind of like, well, I won't call him an evil rocket genius, but like this world's version of Werner von Braun. Okay. And that's also what you see in the story trailer.
Now, you held up the comic. Is that a proof copy, or are these done?
The comic, the first issue is already done. These are some of the first prints. There is also a version for sale already on Amazon. But of course, you want to get the version on the Kickstarter. And on the Kickstarter, we also have special editions with 4 variant covers that has more content in them as well.
Well, Devil's Air, if you are looking to get in on the Radio Retro Future stuff, Radio Retro Future being Bonsart's brand, everything falls under that. The link for this Kickstarter is right below. It is active. It's not, in sign-up phase. So get your wallets out, and it is funded. So it's going to happen, but we'd like to make it happen bigger.
Yeah. I mean, we also have stretch goals, of course, and the sooner you join, the more extra content you'll get, because I also give away weekly rewards. So the deadline for that is each Sunday, and then you'll get. Let's see, for this one is a Halloween special, so I put the deadline on November 2nd. It's going to be 2 short stories and some wallpapers.
So there's going to be something every week, folks. If you get in on it, you'll get that week's special. Boy, that's going to be fun to keep track of. But we'll make it happen. This is the artwork kind of looks like a manga style. Is that intentional, or are you trying to appeal
well, I
to the
mean,
audience?
Johan's usual style is more anime-ish, like even bigger eyes and more expressive. But we are also both real fans of the French comics. I myself grew up with French comics and stuff like that. So we're kind of trying to find that middle ground. Now S09 is a bit more anime, but see, her character concept is also more over the top. So that's fitting. But yeah, it's something where we're also kind of like exploring in. Oh, if you don't have a credit card, maybe we can do something through PayPal. Then I can make it through my own account. That's what I've done with some other people.
There you go.
Credit cards are not a very Dutch thing, so we don't use them that often.
Smart. You'll rule the world at the end of the time by not getting into that. Now, your characters, they're all associates, which I assume to mean they're sort of like agents of some organization.
Yeah. These are 2. They're kind of main characters, but more of the side characters. The main character, Maurice Havelaar, is actually an airborne dragoon. He's from it's another branch in this world, another faction. It's a bit complicated to explain on the show how that came about, but we're working on creating all manner of factions who all have their own plans and agencies for this whole phenomena, which is that on this world where they live on, all these gateways to other worlds are opening up, usually other timelines of Earth with their own civilizations and concepts. But that also includes futuristic civilizations. So there's a lot of technological smuggling going on, a lot of reverse engineering of technology. However, there's all these alien threats can also emerge from these rifts. So all these new factions are appearing, who all have their own ambitions for these rifts, all have their own intentions and goals. Some just love progress, others want to use it for their own gain. And then, of course, there are those who are absolutely opposed to it. So I'm making up all these fictional factions. And Ghulam Ali is one of these people that emerged from that situation, who started using futuristic technology to develop space rockets. It's not.
Yeah. If I were to summarize the world of the Association of Ishtar, the world of the Elysium, I would tell my elevator pitch would be that it's like Stargate and Sliders, but in a steampunk setting.
Yes, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Stargate's probably the closest to it. Or rather, if SG-1 were Sliders, that's probably a good one.
There you go. So I see all the artwork I'm seeing right now. This is flashback artwork, I'm guessing, because of the
Yeah,
sepia
this is
tones.
artwork specially designed for the trailer and the upcoming video. What I'm looking to do is that I can like get my I use Ream instead of Patreon. Ream is a service like Patreon, but especially designed for readers and writers. And I'm loving it because it allows me to upload entire stories with very few effort, and plan them is also done all automatically, so it's great. Highly recommended to any writers who are looking into a subscription model. My hope is to get that to like $100 a month, so I can afford pages such as these for the video, so we can actually have um, these types of quality images in the videos itself to expand our world. As the videos, I use the videos to really expand the world's history itself. Like what I'm planning for this series is that I start with an historical situation, like how history actually happened, and then see how that develops into this futuristic situation that came to be inside of the Association of History universe.
Yeah. One of the things about reading a comic or watching a movie that's in a steampunk setting is that the architecture is like, I'd much rather draw Metropolis modern day because everything's just a square.
Yeah.
But here you've got domes, you've got gargoyles and eagles and all kinds of Art Deco uh, affectations to the
Mhm.
facades.
Well, I mean, my biggest complaint of a lot of science fiction is with I guess cyberpunk is a bit of a exception to this, but with a lot of civilizations, all the houses in, for example, Star Trek have like the same type of architecture. Like, there's no history in there. Like, that society just popped out of the ground like that. And one of the wonderful things about like old buildings is that they develop through time. So a Tudor building becomes like a Victorian building, and that becomes like a modern building. And that transition is very important to me to show that. Um, and yeah, and then architecture is also intended to tell a story. If you actually go to channels by architects, on how they look at space and how they look at human behavior. There's a story there that they want to tell, even if it means putting something creative in like a block square, because modern companies don't want to build monumental buildings, because then it becomes a monument and they're responsible for it forever.
Yes.
um so that's why you've got so much garbage architecture these days.
Yeah, it's just,
Um,
we care more about the function than the form anymore. It's like,
yeah,
we
well,
just need a
yeah.
room.
Well, that's also something that emerged during the Victorian era. I mean, the Victorian era is often only seen from and I complain about this in my colonialism video also, is mostly just seen from the oppressor oppressed narrative, and everything else is irrelevant. But there's so much interesting ideas, because this is a whole new age, unlike humanity has ever gone through before. And all those changes need to be fixed in like a period of 50 years. It's not gonna happen. And I mean, we're going through something very similar right now with all these emerging technologies, and we never really bothered asking the question, like, okay, and now what? um so this is also the period in history where people actually started planning for the future for the first time. That's why also science fiction starts emerging in this era, where the sense of permanency that existed in the ages prior is absolutely gone at this point. So it's a very interesting period also for ideologies.
Now, Journey to Elysium, if I'm understanding the premise correctly, Elysium is sort of like this giant planetoid, smaller than the moon, and in the same orbit as it. It appeared in the 1700s, and like, panic in the streets. Oh my God, what's that? And then people just kind of, it's always been there now. Especially when you
Yeah.
get to a second or third
Yeah,
generation.
it's what happened when all of a sudden government started announcing, oh, aliens are real, honest guys. And all of a sudden it's just like, okay, this is a thing now. Of course there are like rift cults and all those kinds of like ideologies are still in the concept phase in that regard. I still need to come up with a good cosmic horror cult. Actually, I recently posted a video for Halloween that kind of goes into that. It's more of a Weird West tale, but I can do that in my setting, so
Sure.
that's great. But yeah, it's also one of the reasons why I hope to get more writers involved at some point to kind of like create the more fantastical elements and the more the culty thing. But it's hard because these are groups that believe in actual magic, but magic as we see in D&D does not exist in this setting. So you get like people who call themselves wizards and perform rituals and all that stuff, but if it does anything, you don't really know. Um, because it's not Harry Potter. So
It may
those
be
are,
affecting something somewhere else.
yeah, who knows. But overall in this multiverse, magic does not exist in the form as Harry Potter or D&D. And so does do all the magic incantations and praying to gods work? Well, you don't know. So that's definitely there are forces there that is bigger than mankind. Those such beings do actually exist, but if they're actual gods or that's due to their nature being so very different from ours, well, that's all left to the reader's imagination, I suppose.
Yeah. I
So,
love a steampunk setting, Victorian era that expands beyond the limits of London. Because you get a lot of
yeah.
steampunk stories, and they're like, "We're right here. This is the whole world." Where the whole world has all kinds of different cultures and settings, and if you bring that in at that same era, it really adds flavor. Um,
hmm
one of my
yeah.
one of my favorite anthologies that I had years ago, and I lost it. It was called War of the Worlds: Global Dispatches, and it
Hmm.
was all these writers that wrote about the Martian invasion in H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, but in different areas of the world. So you had Teddy
Ooh.
Roosevelt and the Rough Riders dealing with the invasion in Southwest United States, and polar exploration, and just different figures in history dealing with it in their parts of the world, and it really
That is
expanded
something
beyond
we
Grover's
definitely
Mill.
could do for our series as well. So yeah, that actually sounds like a very cool idea. And that's also something that I really want to do. As for the world, like our next video series, like Ghulam Ali comes from India, from Mysore to be exact, which was its own kingdom at the time. So yeah, I'm really want to do. So I kind of like steampunk that situation and how we got in Paris, which is all historically accurate as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
I
it
also want
triggered
to
in my
do,
head when you said you wanted to do a Western, and I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, that would be really cool," because we had a television series over here called Wild Wild West,
yeah,
not the Will Smith movie, but
yeah. I
same
know.
thing. And it was lightly steampunk because of the inventions that they would come up with that were workable with the technology they had available to
hmm
them.
Well, we already got someone who is slowly but surely working on an exploration of the Texas Rangers in this setting.
Nice.
And yeah, I hope more people will join us. How we want to do it is to kind of like see if people are getting the concept is to that they write 150 words short story that kind of pitches the idea for the story in narrative form. And what we want to do is that you can pitch as many of these 150 word things that you want. If they're done, they if they are approved, they automatically become canon. So somebody else can pick it up, or you can finish it, or whatever. Um, but yeah, that's definitely something I need to get into. But right now, I do a lot by myself. That's kind of the problem. I need some more community members in my community who have the time to invest to arrange like meetings and stuff like that. Who does a bit more, well, not necessarily the PR side, but the community side of things. So, but
Now-
yeah, it's absolutely something that I wanna do, a project like that.
So Journey to Elysium is 40 pages. Is this a complete
That's the
graphic
special
novel? Or is this
edition.
the
Yes,
first
the
issue?
special edition is longer.
Okay. But is it one and done, or is it like a first issue of an ongoing?
They are pretty much done, except the mystery cover. That one is still being developed, but yeah, that's going to be revealed during the campaign.
Right. But I mean, story wise, if you read this 40-page story, is it complete, or do you come back for issue number 2 and issue number 3?
Well, the story itself is complete, but you'll have to come back for story number 2 for the rest of the journey. Yes, this is
Okay.
really kind of the story in issue number 1 is really about Ghulam Ali as he sits on his island, and then he's confronted by somebody of the association that says, "Hey, we want that rocket of yours." And yeah, that conflict is the center of that particular issue, and it
Yeah,
kind of sets up like where Maurice Havelaar comes from, the organization he works for, and yeah. So I'm still struggling because I already made drafts for the next 4 issues, I think. And I kind of have like a rough outline for the other parts. I hope it will not be taking about an average of like 30 pages of story per episode. I hope it will not exceed 10 issues. But yeah, I'm kind of hesitant right now because the other stories are the next issue is really transitory, like how they travel with the rocket to the next moon, to Elysium, I mean, and how they get there. So I'm a bit struggling if I should focus more on episodic stuff. However, yeah, then I'm afraid it becomes too long if I do that. So I'm kind of like, okay, how should I do it?
especially with a crowdfunded thing, because there's time in between projects now.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah, and
drags it out.
in the meantime, I'm also working on other stuff. But yeah, that's something I really need to look at. Maybe yeah, if somebody more experience with comic book series making. But yeah, I hope this series will not exceed 10 issues. But again, it will also depend on the audience. Like the audience say, so no, we want more. It's like okay. But
So I
we'll
noticed
see.
that it says here not all the special editions are paperbacks. Are you doing a hardcover?
Does it say that?
No,
Not all.
it just says not paperback. Oh no!
Yeah,
Oh no! It's
paper-
my bad eyes.
yeah.
Geez.
So wait, what did I say that? No, I did not say
You
that.
said
Right?
you said note.
No,
all special
notes, yeah. So it was like I was panicking, like, oh, that's not no, because
Yeah.
I actually originally I wanted to do them paperback, but the issue is just too thin for it to make economical sense, and a lot of companies don't do it. So that was
You're at
simply just
40
too much
pages.
effort.
And, I can tell you that Critical Blast Publishing. Yeah, did you know we did that? we
well,
do
I
a
know you did
34 page.
publishing.
This is a 34 page hardcover
Okay.
that we've got out, and it's a standard comic book size, so it's doable if you go to the right printers. But
Mhm.
I interrupted
Yeah,
the show.
well, I
so far.
tried it through Amazon, and they wouldn't do it. And I Ingram Sparks, but they have to ship it from England because they don't have a printer on the continent.
Well,
And
they can ship it from the U.S. straight to me.
yeah, then I have the same problem, and which is the customs laws changed here, and now every time we want to ship something from either from outside the EU or stuff gets taken hostage.
Yeah,
And
even
I
if it's
already
coming from the
lost one
UK to you.
package,
Right.
and I don't know from whom it was or what it is, so that's great. So yeah, I'm very hesitant to do it that way. So
Yeah, Ingram needs to get a facility. I know they got one in Australia. They got one in South America. They've got one in England. They need to get one inside the EU now that Brexit's taken place, because they've they're suddenly not in the EU anymore. So
It's weird how that's been resolved, but yeah, it's I had a delay of a month last time on books that I ordered from them, so yeah, I don't want to repeat that. So yeah, but I mean, I expecting the proof prints of the first paperbacks soon this week, and then I can post it. And if I mean, if we reach the 3,000, maybe we can talk about including hardcovers for you. We could talk about that, but I know we're thinking about like bundling issues as hardcover right now.
oh yeah, that's a great idea to make, omnibus kind of collections.
Yeah, yeah.
These
Well,
are
one
great.
one thing that people are getting a lot of digital copies because they just don't have the closet space. So
Oh, yeah, space is at a premium. So here are the rewards, folks. So we take a look at here. Um, and okay, these are all in steampunk terms. The pneumatic tube. I know what a pneumatic tube is. That's what's at the bank. We go.
yeah,
And
yeah. So that
yeah,
one
back in
is
Victorian times, those went all over the city, folks. Those weren't just going from your drive-through to your banker. It was like, send this down the street to this office. Okay, it goes in this tube.
they actually show that in the Shadow movie.
Yes. I loved
But yeah,
that.
it's basically pick any digital add-on. If you don't like the combinations that are down there, you can just pick this one and pick any digital reward, which includes the 3D printable STL files, so you can print them at any scale, at any size you like. So, but these are suitable for gaming miniatures. We've got 4 of them, which we offer, I think, for €5. So.
Yeah, I'm here at the empty capsule right now.
Yeah, that's the same thing as the pneumatic tube, but then for physical rewards. So it already
Right.
includes like the shipping.
So you just get the shipping and then you start filling your paper sack with all the
Yeah,
add-ons.
yeah.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna scroll down the right side here because I get images with it now. If you want the comic, it's €15, which is about $16. And it'll be coming out in March. So
I'll probably before then, but I mean, like I said, the issue's already done. So the moment we have the money in from Kickstarter, we can start shipping.
yeah, and you have this available in both English and Dutch because
Yes,
you're
look at the enthusiasm for the Dutch version. But yeah, we have a Dutch version. But
well,
that will
you gotta have
mostly
something
be
for the
for
home
the
people.
huh?
You gotta have something for your home crowd, right? I mean, you're
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
to
yeah.
cons.
It's likely that
local
we'll sell it mostly on the Dutch markets. Yeah,
Then, of course, you've got the variant cover.
yeah.
Now, this is your astronaut. I say astronaut. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
they're called
because the story under there that's why I put it down there on several places. Is that this one still says hardcover? Originally, I was looking into hardcover, and then I changed to forgot to change the description here. So, and I
Yeah,
cannot
now you
change it
can't.
anymore.
Right, it's locked in. But
Yeah,
people understand.
yeah,
Uh, Sometimes the words get typed wrong.
yeah. Well,
Um,
somebody asked a question about like, is this one really hardcover? But no, it's not.
so so you got this one here, which is cover A for €20. Then you got this one here, which is variant cover B for
Yeah.
€25.
Yeah,
What's
those are the
the
more exclusive covers that I probably will not publish outside of Kickstarter.
okay? Because it looked like the same picture here. Um, as cover A. I think this is actually cover B on the thing for cover A, isn't it?
No, they're correct. The image on the left, on the right
Oh,
side of the image, that's the cover. That's the cover.
I see. Yeah, it was changed there. This one
Yeah.
blended in so well. It looks like the landscape just continues on into the book. Uh, and then you've got the same thing for cover C and the mystery cover D. Uh, so what's the mystery on cover D? Is it just that the artist isn't done yet, or it's going to be a surprise?
The art isn't done, and I mean, yeah, as you can see, the people actually enjoy the mystery cover stuff. So,
Yeah,
but a
yeah.
new
It's like
artist working. We hope will start working on the series. She approached me, and she's probably gonna do the art for the Casket Girls, which is a series that's the manuscript is already done. It's now going through some proofreaders, But I might, in the weekly rewards, there might be a preview of the like first or 1 or 2 chapters. Oh, these are early. Oh, wait, there's an early bird still there. Oh, I need to change that. That isn't supposed to be there. But...
Yep, that needs to go down. Don't click that one, folks. You got the book bundle, which is where did this?
Yeah, for the wrench in the machine.
Right, right. Yeah. And folks, see, I've held these books in my hand. I've seen these. These are well made and very thick books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wrench in the machine is like 133,000 words, I think, from the top of my head.
Yeah,
it's we've got 2 books. So the wrench in the machine, that's this one with wonderful cover art by Staringer from Norway. A bit of a more of a like detective set in the Association of Ishtar world, and also written as a get-in book for the people who are not familiar with the concept, because originally the Association of Ishtar was just short stories, and this is Bound for the Sticks, which is a bit more of a fantasy, kind of like a more sci-fi fantasy kind of thing that also delves more into spiritual matters and stuff. So then it's also a bit more young adults than the wrench in the machine. And both of them can be read separately. So
yeah, and they're both available here, folks, for about €35, 37 pounds if you're here in the US.
Yeah, and that's also includes the anthologies, so they're bundles. And these anthologies, before I write the big books, I write these short stories. And they're all like formatted as files. So you can actually use these in your role-playing games. And some of them also have drawings from the community as well. So it has like, well, I wouldn't say fan art because it's they're canon now. But yeah, they are. We've got some amazing people submitted some amazing stuff. I should probably do more fan art contests, to be honest.
Now you mentioned using this in the role-playing games. Is there an official role-playing game, or are you just saying that you can use these?
We are working. It's in development.
Okay.
And I hope that during the updates we'll have an update on that where the developer himself will talk a little bit about it. Yes.
If you want to read both of those books and their attendant anthologies and the S36, the Call Girl comic, mini comic, you can get them all in a PDF, folks, for $48. That's a lot of reading. 2 big books.
That's a lot of content. Yeah, that's a lot of content.
Keep busy. Now this is interesting. You had an audiobook collection of these. So how did that come about?
I recorded them myself. So if you listen to it, it's my voice. I already got a lot of practice from doing audio dramas that I've written myself, and of course my YouTube videos. So it's kind of like, yeah, why not? I still need to finish the wrench in the machine, but yeah, no one bought it yet. So, but I do need to finish the wrench in the machine. It's Bound for the Sticks is already done. The wrench in the machine, I still need to record a few more chapters and then include all the sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is great for people who, they want to enjoy the story, but, maybe they don't have a lot of time to actually sit down and read because, we have lives, we commute. I have an hour commute if I decide to go in the office. I can throw this into my player and just listen to the book on the way to work. That's in fact, that's what I do in a way. I've got we have an XM channel, Radio Classics, and it's all the serials like The Shadow and The Avenger, and The Green Hornet. So I listen to those adventures on my way into to work and back. Twice a day I get to do that. Now this is the story so far basic. This is the full bundle. You just saw the books one at a time here. What else is on this? It looks like there's something here in the middle. Is that just graphic?
That's the comic. The standard edition of the comic.
Right. But there's something that owl.
That's the logo of the association.
Okay. Because I'm like, did you 3D print something that's like a Classon pen or something? But
I've been wondering, but I did like I didn't want to get too much new merch, especially because the other Kickstarter was like half a year ago or something.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, what do you guys want? And yeah, people wanted patches, so yeah, we've got patches.
patches are nice. So
Yeah,
this
those
is
are in
the
the add-on section, I think. They're also in the story section.
okay. So this is the $90 basic story so far tier. For a little bit more, you can get the premium one, which is going to come with the
Yeah,
variant cover.
the
Variant
B
cover.
variant. Yeah, that's gonna be the standard special edition, which I might offer on places like Amazon. Yeah.
You can get, and I know people are who are collectors of this kind of thing. You can get drawn into the story. So a digital portrait for $133. Now you're not drawn into the story, right? This is just
No,
drawn in as a
you
character.
get included like in the background of a panel or something like that. Or if I like the design enough, I might include it for more. But no, you'll be included
Oh,
somewhere somehow.
there you are in panels of future issues. So perfect. You get to be in the comic.
Yeah, it
And
can
you get
also be your business. It can also be your favorite superhero. You know.
that might not fit into the story though, but
Well, I mean, it will be inspired by, but Arcology is a very strange place. Arcology, the city, is a place where whenever a world in this multiverse gets destroyed, the survivors are delivered there by the white airship.
oh
So
wow.
yeah. So
So
there's
it's
also a
this.
video on that if you want to watch that. And if you back it before November 2nd, you'll also get the White Airship story for free. So, like I said, the earlier you back, the more you'll get.
So it's sort of like an interdimensional refugee camp.
Yeah, kind of. So, yeah, the city of Arcology is a wild place. Yeah.
You can also not just appear, but you can be written into the story, which means your character is not just going to be somebody in a crowd. It'll have a name
Hmm.
and it will do something. And of course, you'll
Yes.
get the special edition when you get that as well.
Yeah.
That is $318 because you're going to live on in canon after that point.
Yep.
Everything else is all gone here. All these are the early bird tickets.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh,
We're gonna have some last minute tickets by the end, which is gonna include one of our new or upcoming books. So I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. Then of course here are the all the add-ons, which you've seen most of them in the tiers. You've the paperbacks, the anthologies, all the ebooks, the audiobooks. And then, of
Yeah.
course, you've got you can get some printable files here. These are three for your 3D printer.
Yeah.
So if you've got a 3D printer and you want to make your characters that are
Yeah. We
available,
also got these bookends of 4 characters. This is the Call Girl, by the way.
and those are again held it in my hand, folks. It's a beautiful thing. I didn't want to ship them out. I wanted to keep one of them. I didn't do it. I did. Don't put your hand in the client's cookie jar. But oh, they were nice looking.
Yeah, I
And
mean they are amazing and fun to paint too. At least the resin ones. I don't know, like if you're using what's it that other the normal stuff, it's probably not gonna look as good. But resin they look amazing. Yeah.
yeah, and I would guess, and I don't know, I don't do any 3D printing, but I'm thinking if you have that file, you can probably, I don't know, change the parameters, zoom in, and make it. I don't want to print a little
Oh
2 inch picture.
yeah,
I want to stick some
I
statue.
printed this one is printed at like this is a bigger one. But yeah, you can get them printed on any size. This is the biggest one I've got. This one is about 15 centimeters or something.
Yeah, it looks
But
great.
yeah, no, you can probably make them this big without, well, I mean, this won't not even fit in most printers, but yeah, no, you can get them printed at any size. I mean, you probably
I want
can
a
enlarge
life-size call
these
girl.
to like this if you had the machine to do it. Although, well, not with this one, but with the other one, the associate one, because that one has like a beak shaped mask. That one, a friend of mine printed in 2 parts and then put them together without, and
Yeah.
that looks good.
I want a I want a full size call girl, and that can get clipped from the show.
I mean, the miniature of the call girl is downloadable. So yeah, for €5, it's yours.
There you go. The oily bud gets the wine. Yes. Hello, cynical bleak. Glad you're out there. That's our friend Woody, who lost his account and had to get a new one, so he's making fun of us, but in a good way.
Gotcha.
So here we talk about the setting, which we've gone into.
Yeah,
it's a fascinating thing. I'm going to skip past the spoiler warning real fast. So what else have you got going on here? Because you got a Discord that's always hopping with activity. You've got your YouTube channel, which you're on frequently, talking about different things going on in this business that you've built.
Gee, what else do I have going on? Well, like I said, we're gonna release a new book for the Kickstarter. I don't know when I'll put it on sale permanently, but that's gonna be released. We're some of the panels for the video that I talked about will probably include the originals in the campaign as well for those collectors who'd like to have like the original comic book pages. So that's something I hope to include. I hope to have some more guests posts on there from other comic book creators. People want to share their stuff. What else do we planned? The Casket Girls is in development. And as the art for that is being made, I need to. I should really get those writing workshops going. That's something that really should be done. In the meantime, I'm experimenting with various ideas for future stories. Currently working on a short story for Iron Age magazine. That kind of like forebodes the upcoming book. So I hope that gets accepted, of course.
Are you talking about Anvil?
For Anvil, yes.
Yeah. Okay. We ship out their international packages.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I hope the last one was too late with submitting. Not too much. They were chronologically, so first comes, first serves with them, I suppose. And what else do we have working on? I already touched upon the RPG real quick. It's too early to say anything else. There are some other developments in the background. I had an interesting conversation on the board game convention recently. Not sure if I ever heard anything back from that, but who knows? I'm putting out my tendrils. Or if there are game developers like, I would like to make something based on the setting, let me know. Open to collaborations, and as I said, I want to get more writers involved. That is currently top the wish list, so to speak. Getting the money in for the next issue, so I can keep paying all my illustrators. All the money that I currently have, what I earn on the books, goes to my illustrators. So yeah,
Radio Retro Future is expanding. Is it expanding faster than you thought it would? Because it's.
I guess. I mean, we're doing this for 2 years now. There's not few people who can say they've created as much as I have in that period of time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 2 years. It feels like you've been at this for
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, 2019 I really started, but in 2001 I started really publishing. So, yeah, but still, I'm already working on the next book. I came up with this idea this afternoon that I want to do. I want to complete what I call phase 1, which is what I'm currently working on. And phase 2 is then really that the whole thing is starting to. All the stories are starting to. Not reach a climax, but really the whole situation regarding the rift is starting to get out of control. Phase 3 is probably going to be a more apocalyptic series, I suppose. So what I think I'm gonna do is kind of right now I'm in the 1870s. That is phase one. 1880s is gonna be phase two, and 1890s is gonna be phase three. That will have like some form of big climax at the end of the century. So that's kind of my roadmap. And what will be developed in the meantime, we'll see. I hope the role playing game really starts to move. So we kind of want to make that as modular as possible, so we can put out campaigns with new gaming rules instead of like, oh, here's a massive book, enjoy.
Hey, it worked for D&D.
Yeah, yeah. The people are also getting turned off from D&D. No, we want to go more of the Pathfinder strategy, and like add new rules. So you've got like the basic rules for associates and other types of similar rift travelers, and then we really get into like the elite stuff and the robot stuff and the armored warfare stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
A lot
yeah,
to cover.
and of course the other worlds, which all have like their own take on technology. But yeah, that's where the 150 words thing becomes really important, because that's where all those ideas will be pitched in, and all those monsters and unique challenges. So yeah, I need
Well,
to.
you've got your work cut out for you, but it sounds like you've got a roadmap in place, and you've planned it, which is the first step towards success. So
Yeah, well, it's more of kind of like a head canon thing at the moment. I really need to become a better marketer. Really get book sales up. That's one of the big hurdles at the moment. Um, but yeah, I think in that regard, Kickstarter is a uh, good learning experience. But now I also need to start learning to master the Facebook ads and the Amazon ads and the but yeah, I have to do that all by myself. That's kind of like. And there's also, oh yeah, I also need to write at some point. Yeah,
yes, got to make the product finally after it's all advertised.
yeah. Well,
Right,
it already helps that I now have products. I can now, if people are not buying books, they're buying comics. If they're not buying comics, they're buying something, merch or something.
something for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, and with the
T-shirts are
upcoming.
coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think on Zazzle you can already buy like t-shirts by me, but nobody buys them. But I'm not really promoting them either, so that's it's all the. But that's not where the money is at. So the money is at selling books for me, and that's also something I'm really passionate about. But yeah, I'm not myself. I'm not a big consumer, so I'm like, okay, well, what do you guys want? Because I don't buy a lot of merch, so it's like,
I'm that way too, but you know what? I'll try to sell it. In fact, folks, there's a T-shirt store right below his link. Hit his link first. That's the important thing. Then hit the T-shirt link, and you'll see all our books that are on Amazon
yeah.
as well.
Oh, and
So,
we just gained a backer. So
did we?
yeah, we just we're now at 40 backers. I think it's $5 or something, but still, hey.
Well, that is cause for celebration. That is when we get to have
Oh,
our
$10. Yes, thank you, John Muller, if you are in the audience.
fantastic. Thank you, John. And
Yeah.
we're going to assume he is, and we're going to celebrate it with what we call our shake and bake moment.
It's shake and bake, and I help.
So we're glad that the chat jumped in to help. Thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate it. Glad to see a campaign go up when a guest is on.
Well, I had a moment this week where I was like really depressed. Like all of a sudden overnight, I lost 3 backers. I don't know why that happened, but it's okay. Like okay.
It's always the finest thing.
Yeah,
as
I
we're
assume
closing
so.
out-
Yeah.
As we're closing the show here, I want to just remind everybody, Mike Walters will be doing his Sunday night with special weekend edition at the Mic Stand. So if you want to pop over there later tonight, do go by the Mic Stand, give it a like and a subscribe so that you won't miss those notices. I know it wasn't you, Woody, but you can still get in there and help it because it's going to come from me, so it won't ship for a whole bunch. Bonsart, thank you so much again for coming on the show and sharing the Association of Ishtar with us. I love these steampunk worlds. I know there's a lot of fans around the world. But I see them. You can spot them at a sci-fi con so easily because there's the robots and everything walking around, and suddenly there's a guy in a top hat with goggles on it, and I'm like, do you ever wear those, or they just stay on the hat? But you know what they're into. So we're glad that you were here, and we hope that we'll see you again.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sure. And maybe if you also want to contribute some story ideas, let me know. Maybe we can do the 150 word thing together sometime in the stream or something like
We'll
that.
see what we can do. I'll give it some thought.
Okay,
everybody in
awesome.
the chat, thank you guys for being here. We don't have a show without you. We're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise. So we're glad you're here. And of course, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good afternoon.
Yes.